the Application Lifecycle Risk Management Podcast, Episode 5, TDD Saves Time, the story. I recently had an experience writing code that proved to me once again that using test-driven development really is faster than not using test-driven development. You'll remember a couple of weeks ago I presented a strategy for creating test scenarios where we need to test storing data to a database from a web page. Well, recently I had a chance to use that strategy. In that article, I talked about first testing that the data that we were sending back to the server was actually coming back correctly to the website. By doing this, you don't have to track down where the problem is. Is it in the database save routine, or did it not even get from the client to the server? This part worked pretty much as expected, and my code for that worked right away. So I can't say that saved me a whole lot of time. But the part that did save me a ton of time was the second half, saving the data to the database without having to use the website to create the data I wanted to save. While I was testing the client side, I saved the data to a JSON string, which I used to create an object that represented the data that had been sent back. Then in my unit test, I recreated the object from that data stream and sent that to my save routine. Once the save was done, I reloaded the object from the database. So now I have the original object and the saved object, which I compared. And the compare showed me that the save wasn't working quite the way I expected. I'd actually had to go through several, and by several I mean like 10, 15, 20 iterations of fixing and testing before I got to a point where my test was succeeding. It took about a day to get everything working. Imagine if I were doing this manually. Launch the website. Fill out the form. It's a pretty long form with lots of data. Save the form. Reload the form. Remember what I'd filled out. Verify that everything got saved. I easily could have saved half of the day using test-driven development. If you're still on the fence as to the value of implementing tests prior to writing code, I would encourage you to try it. Just try it for 30 days. Yes, it'll be hard getting started. Yes, it will feel like it takes more time to write the test. But as you make this part of your development cycle, you'll see for yourself how many benefits you can realize by implementing this one best practice.